Previously on the last two parts, we jumped on the boat and headed to Tasmania. We headed east straight away to find some good sand dunes to play on. Pat's car decided it wanted to have a sleep on its side. Then we headed to Mount Strona for some good rocky tracks and good views. We then headed into Derby for the night. The following day we hit up Winifred Weir, nice rocky technical track with a pretty cool weir at the top. We checked out St. Columba's Falls on the way to the Jeep track. A super fun, clayey, rocky track with some roof-high, deep ruts. And that led us to camp on the east coast, just north of St. Helens. So we ended up staying in like a bit of a campground last night. It's all we could really find in the area, but it was a nice little campsite. We didn't have a fire or anything because it was already pretty late and we didn't have any wood, so yeah, it was sort of an early night. So I've sorted out what we're doing today. We're gonna go check out a spot on the Bay of Fires, and then we're gonna sort of just hightail it down to Gordon Dam area and see where we end up this arvo. So I think it's about a 6-hour drive down to Gordon Dam. So it's gonna be a bit of a slog, but yeah, hopefully we'll make it down there this afternoon. We travelled north up the east coast for about an hour. Around every corner, there's something cool to see. This was as far as we could get up the east coast before you had to move inland. Some of the views from these areas are incredible. It's definitely worth checking out. This was a spur-of-the-moment stop at a nature park near Bicheno.
Oh, they can hear the ruffles.
We seen the sign at the last second and couldn't resist.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
The kangaroos are super friendly. You could sit there and feed them all day.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
Oh, it's a little one. Oh yeah.
Fuck, you scared me.
They've got a fair few Tassie Devils in there, ranging from young to old. They even do feeding displays.
Oh, these are way more gentle.
Well, we just did an unexpected stop at Nature World on our way down the coast. We just seen it at the last second, a big animal sanctuary there. So we stopped in there for a look. But yeah, it sort of put us back a couple of hours. So we're gonna sort of hightail it down to Medina. We're living a bit more luxurious tonight. We've booked an Airbnb. So at least, yeah, we can all have a shower and that, and then get ready to go into Gordon Dam tomorrow. Quick stop to check out the Bicheno blowhole. It was low tide, so we didn't see too much out of the blowhole.
What do you reckon?
This was the spot we stayed in Medina. It was an Airbnb spot. I think it could sleep 12 people, so it was a pretty big house. It was super cheap, divided up amongst us all.
Good.
And it was nice to finally have a shower.
Fire. Shower.
Hello?
Wake up. Hello. Pat, is it? Just making sure you're up. It's 11 o'clock.
Just a couple minutes out of Medina, we seen there was this spot called June Caves. A nice short walk through the bush with a really cool cave at the end. This was definitely worth going to see.
you snagged.
Dedication to the lure.
Going in.
Oh. The drive into the Gordon Dam is unreal. There's not many places you get to drive a normal road through mountains like these with constant good views. This is the Gordon Dam. It was constructed in the early 1970s to divert water around through a hydro power plant. The camera will never do this spot justice. If you are ever in Tasmania, this is 100% worth the drive. Give us a go on the cable cart, look. The cart's coming up. We're working down there. This is how the workers get from the top down into the bottom. There is 2 sets of ladders on each side of the dam, and the workers told us they get walked twice a week for inspection purposes. This spot is just absolutely incredible. If you ever go here, I guarantee your mind will be blown.
I should ask old mate. Yeah, like, you don't have to talk to them.
The trek continued towards the west coast. We continued heading west on the Lyell Highway, heading through places like Derwent Bridge, over Lake Burberry and down into Queenstown, which had some incredible views on the way down. Well, we stayed just out of Queenstown last night on Lake Burberry. It was a nice little camp spot. The weather was mint actually, so yeah, it was a nice little spot. We've just cruised out and we are now going down into Ring River Track, and we're going to check out Montezuma Falls. So we come here last time, but I'm looking forward to getting back in there and checking it out again. Ring River Track is actually pretty fun. So there's only 3 of us here at the moment, so we'll send her through, check out the falls and see what the track is like.
Someone's going through and look at this shit they've dragged out or something.
This one looks alright in the video. Yeah. See what that bypass looks like. It's tight as fuck.
What's this one like?
Yeah, this one will be alright. You've got to zing the cheese through, a couple of branches off.
No.
Come on. Going round. No bog holes.
Yeah.
Righto, all good.
Yeah, might be dipping out. Go short. Well, there was no mumbo.
No.
Lots of tractor.
And this is where the drama started. If you listen carefully, you'll hear some crunching noises. And I'm fairly confident this is where the axle broke. Obviously, to break this easy, the axle was already on its last legs. They have seen some serious abuse, and unfortunately, nothing is indestructible.
More power.
More power. Lock him in. Yep, in. It seems I've broken a CV possibly, so I don't know what's going on there. I actually don't even know when it would have broken, because that last bog hole that I winched out of, yeah, it was driving 2 wheels out of that. So anyway, we'll find out soon, I guess. Got lucky with the soup. Because I'm not going to have any drives, you know, and it's going to drive the front left. I might feel it down into there.
Yeah. Pretty true.
It's not going to be any. I just sat in it for like 2 minutes. So.
If you want, I can have to hook you out, ready to go.
Well, I'll just throw it out now and I'll just winch straight through it.
Yeah.
I'll back up. Because it was fairly soup. It was like what it looked like it.
You saw the mud? guys, just soft.
I'm not one to smash bog holes, but that bog hole did suck. I didn't want to do the bypass because the front right hand wheel is on the downside and it didn't have drive, and I didn't want the front to slip into the hole. That's probably the hardest I've worked this winch. Like, that was a pretty bad pull, and yeah, done well. Alright, well that's Ring River done. It's actually, yeah, it's getting a bit flogged out, which is good. It's still not too bad. Yeah, I just done probably the second half of that in 2-wheel drive and 3-wheel drive. So it's still good fun. The plan of attack now is to go and check out Montezuma Falls, and then we're gonna just head out the Montezuma Falls track and work out a good spot where we can go back, and I'll pull the short side out and see what the damage is. Fingers crossed it hasn't broken in the center, because if it has, then yeah, it's going to be a pretty major job to possibly pull the front center out, but we'll go from there. So we'll go check the falls out. And this is the reward you get at the end: Montezuma Falls.
Daniel, I'm serious. If you do any dumb shit,
If you end up 4-wheel driving and taking the Montezuma track in order to get to the falls, you have to cross this bridge. It gets the heart racing a little bit, but it just adds to the excitement. On the other side of the river, you can get a normal car into a car park and then you hike down into the waterfalls, but that doesn't sound fun at all.
yeah.
Alright, well that's Montezuma Falls done. It's always good to go in there and check it out. Yeah, walking across that little scaffold plank across the river is always good fun. The plan now is we're going to cruise out the Montezuma Falls track because I think that's easier. I've only done Ring River. I haven't actually driven out this Montezuma Falls track. So yeah, we're going to head out there and hopefully head back to Rosebery or something and try find a spot where I can pull this CV out and go from there. It was due to rain pretty hard this night, and I didn't want to change the CV out in the bush because I just knew the front centre had to come out. So we drove into Rosebery and we got some fuel at the little BP servo, and he actually has some pretty handy parts in there if you ever need them. He had CVs, hubs, calipers, gasket goo, oil, brake cleaner, fan belts, you name it, he actually had it in there. It was pretty cool. The closest accommodation we could find was the Lakeside Lodge in Tulla. It has its own bar and restaurant, a massive lake out the back, and heaps of rooms. So this was going to be our spot that we pulled the axle out. All right, we found a spot. Hey Lord, we're going to pull this thing out.
Yep, get to it.
Fix it.
Hey, is Zen just flopping around, I think?
Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah. Oh,
no. That's not good. Damn it.
oh.
Oof.
That is not good. Well, that's that, I suppose. On the rag and fucking do the other side.
Yuck.
Well, here's an update on the problems. Broken axle. Luckily didn't get the locker, but we've got 2 splines damaged and the new CV won't go in very well. So we've got the centre out, both sides apart. Not really what I wanted to be doing, but is what it is. On the final part of our Tassie series next week, we saved the best till last. We tackled Tassie's 2 most iconic four-wheel drive tracks. With some unreal drives on the way up and sketchy drives on the way down. All for a bit of fun and to see the lake at the top. So stay tuned and we'll see you next week.